Good afternoon, everyone. This is Henry, and as we get into tonight's video review, I wanted to show you some interesting spots that are showing up here from one of my favorite squeezes. Now, this is a scan that I enjoy running for squeezes that shows you products that are showing this compression in price, but are also showing a relationship to their previous swing highs, right? They're within 10% of a previous 52-week high. And a lot of times that's a good spot for trend continuation and looking for something to buy. But, this is a really unique spot because let's just take Ulta here kind of off the top. So you've got an Ulta with this squeeze that is showing, the 10% proximity from its previous 52-week high. It has a great relationship with the 50, with the 100, with the 2. And I feel like this is a very elementary way of approaching technical analysis. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but to look at it and say, oh, this is a bullish squeeze because of the moving averages, this really isn't the ticket here. To me, I'm looking at this squeeze in Ulta and saying, all right, the expected move or the expected price off of earnings was that they made $560. Well, they ended up making closer to $670. So a nice beat on earnings, but look at what price has done. Right? Price was not impressed by that. And I just think this is one of those spots where you have to look at the squeeze, and even though it's been doing so well, Ulta is a little bit more primed for a correction. And if you look at that and say, well, I don't agree, I don't think, for whatever reason, you don't think so, I would have you think about looking at its previous corrections. I'm not trying to tell you this is a bearish chart, but I am trying to say, consider the previous, think about from here to here, where they essentially just let go of the bid. There's no bids in there that can keep it from that free fall. Well, then when we project that from the 537 swing high, that would take you down sub 500. And then if we look at the decline that preceded the rally, swing low to swing high, you start to see some relationships here that say, this is probably not a squeeze that is going to fire long, but instead a squeeze that fires counter trend and takes you back into, I'm vouching for below 500, and then I'll update that, if and when we get it. Now taking that a little bit further and saying, okay, I can see how maybe that's going to be a little bit counter trend. What about something like Texas Instruments, right? As a native Texan, I tend to like Texas Instruments, and it's got a squeeze in play. But notice it here below this fire line of 175. Yes, it still has that favorable relationship to its previous swing high, but it's just a little bit problematic there below that 175 fire line. And then the final one that I wanted to show you this evening was MCD. So at one point, really during the height of the weakness today in McDonald's, you saw a great rally. So you think, is this residual strength trying to tell me something? Settling back in the middle range is a little more questionable. But at the end of the day, I think this is just another one of those patterns that even though price has a good relationship to previous swing highs, these squeezes are very likely to fire short. And in the case of McDonald's, bring you, if the 200-day simple moving average gives way, you're very quickly back down into 250, if not a little bit deeper. And then you get to see if this radical candle off of those, that day that had so many names showing up with bad prints, then you get to see if that's good and if that is real support. And I think you will draw a bid, but it's just letting it fall, finding the bid down there, and hopefully you can find a piece of that for yourself inside that analysis. So, as always, I hope it's helpful. You guys have good trading, and I'll see you at the next free video. Hey traders, this is Henry with simplertrading.com. I wanted to thank you for watching today's video. I hope you found it helpful, and if so, be sure to click the like and subscribe buttons down below. If you would like to also see me putting these ideas into action and trading my own account live in front of you, be sure to sign up at simplertrading.com, and I hope to see you in the chat room sometime soon.